Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about part 2 of my 4-part series on how to be a healthy vegetarian. If you haven't had a chance to check out my first video, it's all about what you should expect as a vegetarian, the different types of vegetarians, and the minerals and vitamins that you should be considering making sure that you get into your diet. So with that being said, I want to get into this video, which is all about how to get enough protein as a healthy vegetarian. Now, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about because it's one of the questions I get asked all the time. It's like, Kieran, where do you get your protein? How do you get enough protein? You're a vegetarian. Are you deficient? Do you have deficiencies in protein? I'm like, no, I don't have any deficiencies in protein. I just get my protein through different sources. I don't need to eat animal products to get my protein. I do consume dairy though, so just an FYI, I'm not a vegan. I do have dairy products, I have cheese, I have milk, and it's something I enjoy. Maybe one day I'll stop having that. I don't know. I tried it for 6 months. I couldn't do it. If you're a vegan out there and you have some tips, I need to check out what you're doing because I need to get myself there maybe one day. But for now, I'm sticking to eating my dairy products and I am good. As a vegetarian, how do I know how much protein is enough protein? So I calculate my protein needs based on 3 criteria. I am 5'7", about 138 pounds. My protein needs are gonna be different from your protein needs. So if I show you a meal, which I will be showing you, if I show you a meal that has X amount of protein and this serving size, it may not be the right serving size for you. So I'm gonna help you out and I'm gonna help you calculate what your protein needs are. You wanna be consuming about 1 to 2 grams per kilogram of your body weight, or 1 gram per pound of your ideal body weight. So let's take out our calculator and let's calculate what that is. For me, I'm 138 pounds. I want to be ideally 135 pounds. So I'm gonna take that number, I'm gonna divide it by 3, and that gives me about 45 grams of protein per meal. And the reason why I divide it by 3 is because I like to have 3 meals a day. I don't feel like I have time for 4 meals or 5 meals, and secondly, in my next video we'll be talking a lot about insulin levels, and I want to just keep my insulin levels as low as possible, so I try to only stick to 3 meals a day. And I find that if I do 2 meals, it's really hard for me to eat enough food to get my protein needs. It's just not happening. I can't do 2 meals, so 3 meals works for me. The second criteria you need to be considering is your age. As you age, your protein needs increase. If you're over 30 years old or getting close to 30 and you notice that your arms are getting flabbier, your body isn't as tight as it used to, if you feel like you're low on energy and you're hungry all the time, then you need to up your protein intake. You need to up your protein intake because after 30, your body starts to break down muscle. It's what's called anabolic resistance, which can be so detrimental, especially if you are someone like me who likes to exercise and stay fit and healthy and wants to get that lean muscle. So you want to make sure that you're eating enough protein. If you were to use the criteria of 1 to 2 grams per kilogram of your body weight, I would take your kilograms and multiply by at least 1.5. So if I was to do that right now and show you what that looks like, if I convert 135 pounds divided by 2.2 to get my kilograms, that puts me about 61 grams per kilogram of my body weight of protein, and I'm going to multiply that by 1.5. So that puts me about 92 grams or 93 grams of protein per day. So that's roughly about 30 grams of protein. So 30 grams of protein is going to be enough to meet your minimum requirements if you are like me, 5'7", 138 pounds or 35 pounds. Again, your needs are going to be different than mine, but I would say the average goal is to get around 30 grams of protein. That would be a great goal to start with per meal. So the third criteria you want to consider whenever you're calculating your protein needs is how active are you? Are you someone who strength trains? Are you someone who does boot camps, does circuit training, or does CrossFit? Do you run? Do you do yoga? Do you cycle? Do you do spin classes? What is it that you do that keeps you active? Now, the more active you are, the more protein you need in your body, because your body is more willing to lose muscle than it is to lose fat. So you want to be feeding your muscle so that it boosts that metabolism and you can burn fat. You want to increase the amount of muscle that you have so that it gives you more energy and you can fuel your workouts better and you'll get better results at the gym. That tone, that definition that you're looking for, that comes from building muscle. Focus on building muscle by increasing your protein intake. So those are the 3 criteria that you want to consider. Number 1, your size, your body weight. Number 2, your age. Number 3, your activity level. The more I learned about nutrition, the more I learned that your body needs a certain amount of protein in order to stimulate muscle growth. And muscle growth is stimulated by leucine. And leucine is a branched chain amino acid, and it is the most important when it comes to stimulating muscle development and building muscle and maintaining muscle mass. So now I try to choose sources that are higher in leucine. If you want a full comprehensive list of all the vegetarian sources that have leucine in it, and you can really see whether or not broccoli has enough leucine in your diet for your diet, then I will link that in the description box below so you get that full list. And so when it comes to leucine, you want to make sure you're getting at least 2.5 grams per meal in order to make sure that you're maintaining lean muscle and building lean muscle. I tend to supplement anytime I'm eating a meal that I know will not have enough leucine in my diet. So I always try to supplement with leucine. It tastes so bad, but I just chug it down whenever I can because I just need it. I know that my body needs it. Or I'll just have my complete meal replacement shake. It has all the vitamins and minerals in it. It has good fast digesting and slow digesting proteins, which is great to supplement with if you're looking for something to supplement with. Let's get into how I get enough protein in a day. We live in a day and age where our food is processed, and so we want to make sure that we're eating enough whole foods. That means a lot of vegetables. I don't eat that much fruit, but enough fruit. You want to make sure that your protein intake is adequate. Now, as a vegetarian, I do eat a lot more carbs than an average meat eater would. And the reason is our proteins have some more carbs in them as opposed to a meat product or animal product. I tend to make sure that my protein intake kind of matches my carbohydrate intake, and I try to get less carbohydrates than I do protein. But we'll be talking about carbohydrates in the next video and how I tend to control that. So stay tuned for that. But when it comes to protein, I want to make sure that I get enough in the day, so I supplement. And I supplement with a whey isolate and concentrate blend. And the reason I like to use whey is because, number 1, it's highly bioavailable. If you look at vegan protein sources, not to like bash on any vegan proteins, I just believe that you don't absorb as much protein from just pea protein alone. It is missing in some amino acids, so you're not absorbing all of it, and it just doesn't have leucine. It doesn't have enough leucine in it. It doesn't have enough of those BCAAs that your body needs to provide your body with optimal muscle recovery, especially after a workout. So unless it's like a curated blend of different types of proteins, like pumpkin seed and hemp seed, you're really not going to be absorbing as much. I like to follow what Dr. Gabrielle Lyon says, and she says that if you're consuming a vegan source, you need to double up your intake of that vegan source of protein in order to get enough absorption. So let's say, for example, your tub of protein has 12 grams of protein per scoop or per serving size. You want to make sure you're doubling up that in order to meet your actual 12 grams, because your body is not absorbing all 12 grams as 12 grams of protein. It's probably only absorbing half. Don't take my word for it. Follow Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. She talks all about that because she knows all about protein. That's her bread and butter. She studies it, and I just follow people that know what they're talking about. With that being said, I like to use whey just because of that fact, and because I don't have a problem with having milk products. I'm totally cool with that. the type of whey source that I use. I'll link it in the description box below. I absolutely love it because it has vitamins, minerals, it has fiber in it, it has enough protein. I know I'm actually getting the 20 grams per serving in my tub of protein because of just the way it's formulated. And I just know that one thing when it comes to protein, if it smells good and it tastes good and it doesn't taste like protein, it's a good protein. So just remember that, guys. Your protein shake shouldn't taste like protein if it's a good protein, okay? It should have like a milky taste to it. And I actually had a friend of mine who started using the same protein that I use, and she told me that she couldn't go back to her other protein because she just like, I don't know, she's like, it just tastes so different to her now. And so she just drinks this one. It's called Complete. I'll link it in the description box below so you can check it out. You can get it the exact same price that I pay, which is great. Just know that if you do buy it, I do get benefits from that. So just a heads up, I do get benefits from it. So I'm not trying to sell you or anything. It's just something that I've been using for like 5-6 years now, and I have to tell people about it. So the major protein sources that I use are, number 1, whey. Number 2 is Greek yogurts. Number 3 is tofu and edamame. I love soybeans and tofu because they're really high in leucine and they're very highly absorbed. Tempeh is another form of soy that I consume. I like to use pumpkin seed as well. I love pumpkin seeds. I feel like you can do so much with it. Throw it on some salads, put it in my shake. It's a great addition to any meal, just throwing some pumpkin seeds on it because it is a good source of leucine. Why do I eat soy? I think too many people have a negative perception about soy. They think that soy is gonna cause thyroid problems, it's gonna cause breast cancer, it's gonna cause all these issues because of the phytoestrogens that are in soy. Now, you have to understand that phytoestrogens are actually not just in soy, but they're in a lot of different legumes. So just soy has been very widely studied to have high phytoestrogens in it. But phytoestrogens do not work the same in your body as regular estrogen. It actually helps control your hormone levels. Unless you have like an allergy to soy, don't avoid it. Eat it because it has a very high amount of protein. I usually buy non-GMO and organic tofu or edamame, and that's what I have, and I love it. So what soy does is it actually attaches to those estrogen receptors, and it doesn't create the same response that estrogen does in your body. It doesn't have a negative effect on your estrogen levels. Just know that, and if you want research or links to that kind of research, I'll link it in the description box below. I don't want to get into too many details about this because I feel like I could do a full video just on soy. But we will do that one day. We will do that, and I can't wait to share that information with you. With that being said, I wanted to keep this video super short and sweet. If you have some questions about protein and that you want me to answer, just comment below and I will get back to you about that to the best of my ability. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button if you haven't already, because I will be putting videos out every single week. And next week we're going to be talking about how to control your carbohydrates as a vegetarian. Even though it's very hard to avoid, it is possible to control. I can't wait to share that information with you guys. And with that being said, I am so happy that you joined me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.